Everybody, what's up? Happy webinar slash video day. It is great to be with you. My name's Eric Hatch of Hatch Realty and Hatch Coaching. I put my name on everything because I'm not that clever. And nonetheless, we are in for a doozy today. We're taking the showing partner model, which some of you may know, some of you may not, but we're bringing it to the next level. This is a maturation of my thoughts. I haven't really shared this in a public setting until now. And so you all are in, hopefully, for some insider information on how I think the game has not just been changing, but has changed. Let me give you a little lay of the land, okay? I've had a real estate team since 2012, got into real estate full-time in 2011. My background was in ministry, loved ministry, awesome job, but man, I was broke. And so got into real estate full-time in 2011, started a team in 2012. That team collapsed and fell apart in 2013. I got kicked out of my brokerage. I had to start over. I went to a rebound girlfriend brokerage for 9 months. I made some huge financial blunders. And all of a sudden in 2014, I opened up Hatch Realty, which is a teamerage. We function solely as a team under the brokerage Hatch Realty. We started in 2014 the showing partner model, and it has been the staple in our business, like the cornerstone. If you come to our team, you come to it traditionally as a showing partner, and wow, we are on pace right now to sell about 1,300 homes this year. Woo, buddies! That's so fun. We did 866 last year. We did 632 the year before. And so our business will have more than doubled in a 2-year time frame. And this showing partner model is like the core piece. So some of you are watching live. Some of you are watching a recording of this. Those of you that are watching live, I want this to be interactive, okay? Ask your questions, put them in the chat box. I will do my best to get to everything that you have as an inquiry. I will go no longer than about 55 minutes here because I need to eat some lunch before my next coaching call. And whoa, big stuff coming. Gang, I want to draw your attention for just a moment to the mindset that you have about real estate. I think that the mindset that people have is that I need to add more people to my ecosystem. If you have a team or you're thinking of starting a team, I want you to get in the mindset of, I got to do this differently. The way in which it's been done is not the way in which it needs to be done, because the world in real estate has looked like this for almost forever. All right, I need to sell some more houses. I want to make some more money. I want to get a little time back in my life. And so what we do is we add people, we add buyer agents. In fact, I have a video on our Hatch Coaching YouTube page that talks about this same idea. And it's called Don't Ever Hire a Buyer Agent Again. Because the way in which I think the model is built is that if we want to sell more houses, we add more agents. That model gets you inconsistent results. The recent stat I've heard is that 84% of realtors don't make it past their first 2 years. They're undertrained, they're underdeveloped, and we as agents have the mindset of like, hey, I'm going to bring all these people on and they're going to make me all this money, but it's never that easy. If you've had pains with hiring agents in the past before, please type into the chat box and simply say, that's me. If you've had struggles of hiring agents and getting them massively producing, please type in and say, that's me. Here it is. It's coming. That's me. That's us. That's my story. That's me. That's me. Whew. The problem is the model. All right. By the way, you're a big part of the problem. If you're a solo agent, you're saying, what do? I got to do what everybody else has done. If you have a team, you keep doing the same stupid crap over and over, expecting different results. The model should be different. Here again is the mindset of the agent. They think that they know what they're doing. And so what they're doing is, I'm going to bring on 2 new buyer agents, and those 2 new buyer agents are going to get a bunch of leads from me. We give them our crumbs and our leftovers. We give them all of our stuff that we're not tending to, because we're tending to our sphere and the really easy ones or the referrals that we're getting. And so we give all of our mediocre leads, our pay-per-click leads, our forced registration leads, our long-term dirt nurtures. Sometimes maybe you're spending money on Zillow or Trulia or Realtor.com, but we're giving mediocrity to our agents, and then we're training them poorly. And then we're expecting them to magically poop out money for us. Like, pardon the graphic nature, but I can't say it any other way. Let's look at it this way. Let's say you have 5 awesome leads, 5 leads that you yourself as the agent could and should close. These 5 leads are $10,000 of commission for each of them. Ooh, that's 50 grand right here. You have 50 grand, and in our minds we say, I'm going to bring on a buyer agent, and they're going to take these 5 leads and they're going to earn 50% of the commission. I'm going to keep 50% of the commission, so I'm going to make $25,000 off of this, and I'm not even going to have to do any work. This is mailbox money, baby. I'm gonna just get that money, and I'm going to set these people. But the problem is they're not trained well. They aren't experienced enough. In a market like it is today, if you're watching this live, we are in the most robust sellers market that maybe the history of our industry has ever seen today. It's just wild. And so these new folks can't close all 5 of these. You can close all 5 of them, but the new folks can't. So maybe they can close 3 of them. Okay. Well, you just made $15,000. They just made $15,000 over a couple of months. But realistically, you're probably only going to close 2 of them. You're going to make 10 grand. They're going to make 10 grand. But they're also going to have to wait 4 to 6 months to get paid because the long-term nurtures of these leads is just so confounded that we're left saying like, okay, well, I made 10 grand. They made 10 grand. That's good. But now that person's broke. They're desperate. They're not operating well. They're struggling with how the industry works. They don't know if they're going to make it, and they become a flight risk. They can't even get trained enough because they got to have a second job because real estate is a tough grind. This model is your model right now. And we wonder why it's broken. We wonder. Now, I've oftentimes been asked, Eric, if you could do it all over again, what would you do different? The list is pretty long. My team, our first year, we sold 192 houses. My second year, when I got kicked out of the brokerage, we still sold 246, but I was 149 of those 246 transactions. Then when I opened up Hatch Realty, we did 411 our first year, but I was 153 of those 411 transactions. See, I was successful, but I didn't know how to make other people successful. And the model of a bunch of agents does not equal success. I'm going to give you some really strategic steps that you can take over the next half hour or so, but I want to paint the picture of how broken this model is. In pure infomercial style, I'm going to say, but wait, there's got to be a better way. And we have that for you. And this is the partner model. I love the partner model. I swear by the partner model. The only way somebody joins my team right now is through the partner model. 84% of realtors don't make it past their first 2 years. And I've never had somebody start as a partner and not make it as a realtor. 75 plus people in the history of me doing this game now. And they all made it, every single one of them. They've made more money. They've had more opportunity. They have won bigly because of this. And so I want you to start thinking as a business person rather than a realtor. Because realtors are used to chasing commissions, and that's what we want other people to do. But I instead want you to start thinking that you need to put your mouth and your money together. They need to be matched. You need to put your mouth where your money is and your money where your mouth is. I don't know how that goes, but I said it backwards. We're going to call it good nonetheless. Here is the base of this. The showing partner model is a salaried position. There are other people pitching, selling, saying, hey, we gotta do just commission for this. And you can do commission in a partner position. I recommend only and fully the salaried model. In Fargo, North Dakota, the salary we pay people is $30,000. Our average sales price is about $260,000 today, and we pay our showing partners $30,000. They are licensed realtors who are traditionally starting out or want to subscribe to a life that is less stress than just being commission-based. Let's take a very honest look at who can be a realtor if they don't get a salary. It's one of 5 people. I know it because I've studied it, and there's only 5 types of people that can become a realtor. Number 1, somebody with a sugar daddy or a sugar mama. They got lots of cash at home, and they can jump into real estate with with ease. Number 2, somebody with a trust fund, somebody with a ton of cash that they have in their life, and so they can jump into a full-time commission job. Number 3, somebody with a second job, somebody who is hustling just to make ends meet because they know that they gotta be able to pay those bills. That person can't give oftentimes full-time energy to real estate. Number 4, somebody with really bad financial habits. See that one pretty often. Number 5, the last and the pinky, the reason why it's the smallest for a reason, is somebody with a great savings account because they've worked hard to prepare for getting into real estate. Because here's the math on it. Let's say Brent Preddy, who's on the webinar right now. Brent, what's up, buddy? Let's say Brent is new into real estate. On his very first day, Brent is the lucky one who gets a buyer from his sphere or from his team. Brent lucks out. Well, the buyers on average are looking for 10 to 12 weeks. In this market right now, how many offers are they having to write until they actually win one, right? It's difficult, it's tough, but let's say Brent manages after 12 weeks on average to get that person under contract for their house. Then it's gonna sit in escrow for 4 to 6 weeks as well. So Brent, if you are lucky on day number 1 of getting a buyer, that buyer is going to close in about 4 months on average. And we wonder why so many realtors are failing is because they're coming in and they either have a trust fund or a sugar daddy or a sugar mama. I can go through that whole list, but none of those constitute somebody giving their all to real estate. The model is broken. We are looking for the wrong people. Instead, my entire team is built on bartenders and retail workers and office managers, people who've had jobs where they're like, I'm super frustrated that the harder I work, the same amount I make. There's no climbing of the ladder in my world because I can go and like be a manager and make $5,000 more. Where in real estate, we offer people 6-figure salaries all the time. The problem is that they have to earn it. And please write this down if you're taking notes. I hope this is foundational for you, is that everything should be earned and nothing should be given. See these 5 leads right here, this should be earned. You shouldn't just give them to the new kid and hope and pray that they're gonna close it because they're only gonna close 2 or 3 of those 5 and you're out a ton of cash. They're out with a frustrating model and they're wondering why in the heck can't I make it as a realtor? And it's your fault because you brought somebody on in the wrong context and you set them up for failure. You did. And we got to do better because our clients deserve better trained people. Our industry needs better equipped people. And the new kid on the block isn't cutting it. I'm fired up again. So let's go back to this 5 because here's where the partner model starts to make sense. My friend Betsy is on this, an old coaching client. Betsy, really good to have you here. Betsy down in the New Orleans area is a crusher of deals, right? Homegirl can do such good work. I bet if she has those 5 leads, she can close all 5 of them, right? It's going to take a month or 2, but I bet Betsy can close all 5 of these leads. Well, that's $10,000 per lead. That's a $50,000 commission. But what if Betsy does that with the help of a partner? And I'm going to tell you what the partner does in just a moment. But what if Betsy does that with the help of a partner? Somebody who is salaried and trained and is the nurse to Betsy's doctor. Betsy is negotiating and dealing with the heavy lifting. She's the doctor on that. She's operating. She's dealing with the surgery stuff. She's working the strategy and the game plan. But the day-to-day nurturing, those constant touches and contacts, the showings, the feedback, the massaging of those people so that they feel seen and valued and heard, that's handled by her partner. And so Betsy's going to pay $2,500 a month for that partner. That's $5,000 over 2 months. But that partner is going to do, I'd say 70 to 80% of the lifting for these 5 people. And so this is going to cost Betsy $5,000, but she's going to keep 50 grand, right? She's a net positive of $45,000, 3xing her return. Because I'm going to show you that this is good for the agent and this is good for the team leads, because what you're doing is you're giving your best at-bats to your best people. You need to stop giving big opportunities to new people. because everything should be earned and nothing should be given. So change your mindset on it. Get business structure. I remember when I hired my first admin, it was 2011. I hired a part-time gal in college to work for me for $10 an hour. And I was scared to death of how I was going to function and pay for her. I was now responsible for somebody's salary. And what it did is it forced me to have cash in the bank and to have a plan. It forced me to make sure that I had a minimum of 3 months of reserves so that if I didn't sell any houses, I could still pay her salary. It forced me to maturate my mind. And that's what you all need to do if you're looking at this, is to maturate your mind and to invest in people in a salary instead of a commission, because it's best for them and it's best for you. You will make more, but you're going to have a higher obligation and opportunity to bring on the right person. It's wild. I remember when I hired my first 4 agents, I had buddies in my market center who were like, hey, dude, can I sell houses with you? And I'm like, yeah, man, this is going to work out great. And I did what almost every team leader first does, and they just hire their friends. But when I hired my first admin, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm paying how much? $10 an hour? I better be really, really diligent on this, because I'm going to spend more time with this person than I am with my wife at times. And so you're regimented and you're diligent when you actually are paying somebody a salary, and you tend to think of it differently. You think, this is a major financial interest that I have in this person, and so I need to make sure that I'm setting them up for ultimate success. Well, guess what? If you hire somebody with more stringent parameters, you will get a better result from that person. Is this making sense so far? Please type into the chat box, this is making sense, or give me your questions. Give me your comments. I'm going to crack myself open a LaCroix. There it is. So let's keep going. There are 3 responsibilities that a showing partner has. Please write these down. Their first responsibility, and in fact, let me maturate this language, okay? I don't think we should call them showing assistants. In fact, we even need to think that we need to stop calling them showing partners, and we should just refer to them as our partners. The reason why we need to refer to them as our partners is because the language we use and the words we use matter. An assistant sounds like you're getting handed off to somebody that doesn't have the same punch that you have. And in the client's eyes, that matters. A showing partner limits that person's responsibilities strictly to showing. And though I think that's the majority of their responsibilities, I think you need to open those parameters up, because their first job is to leverage you. Remember, I said there's 3. Their first job is to leverage you, or to leverage the agent. This may mean, hey, I need you to go and pick up some groceries for me. I need you to do some runner responsibilities right now. Usually it means I need you to cover this inspection. I need you to work with these clients. I need you to be this extension of me. So the first level of responsibility is to leverage you. I think, and I hired a personal assistant about 3.5 years ago. I had more applicants for that role because people wanted to be tied to somebody that was busy and hopefully influential. And I think that when you can use the language of you're looking for a partner, you're going to open up some parameters. And so when I was hiring a personal assistant, a partner for me, I told them in our career night, and I made sure that everybody knew, like, you may have to bring my dog to the vet, and you may have to do some other things for me, because your job is to leverage my time. And I made that very, very clear from moment one. And a great partner hire is the same thing, as they are to leverage your time. Usually it's production-based activities, but oftentimes there's going to be little spin-offs. My personal assistant, 2 months into the job, had to go and pick up dog poop from my yard and bring it to the vet because my dog was sick. She mocks me for it still to this day, but it was one of those things that she knew what she was getting into. So your partner needs to know what they're getting themselves into, and you need to present all this from the beginning. Their job is not to be your errand boy or errand gal, but their job is to leverage you. And sometimes there's some random things that need some tending to. Their second job, first is to leverage the agent. Their second job is to train, to role play, to develop, to practice, to get better, because you're building this person to be exceptional. You're building them to move to a really deep point in this development. You don't want to hand them to these leads and have them not be fully equipped. The partner model works exceptionally well when you have trained that person not just to standard, but to excellence. Doing that gives you the confidence in handing off these clients and these relationships to these partners. It's a really big one. First responsibility, to leverage the agent. Second responsibility is to train. The third responsibility is to lead generate. When I started this model back in 2014, I never expected it to morph into what it is now. When we began the model, it looked like this. These agents are going to leverage and train. And then after the calendar strikes 12 months, they will graduate up. But hold on, like if everything needs to be earned and nothing should be given, like we graduated our first people up, but then we're like, shouldn't these people be bringing in deals too? And so we started to have them start to bring in deals and to lead generate with a little more intentionality. And in that case, my Jimmy John's just showed up. Hey, you can just set it down. Thank you. Freaky fast is not true because I ordered it an hour and 15 minutes ago and it just showed up. Freaky slow is more like it. So I'm gonna, if you hear a growling, it's my stomach because my Jimmy John's was freaky slow. Okay, here we go. We're back at it. All of a sudden we started to get our partners to lead generate. And we said, okay, now you have to hit certain benchmarks in order to graduate. In our world, here's a really great question. Are they lead generating from their own SOI or from online leads? We have ISAs in our world, an inside sales agent, and our ISAs touch every company purchased lead first. Our ISAs only hand off appointments. And so the showing partners are to work their own sphere. Open houses and sphere and referrals are what they concentrate on. Working with METs versus have not METs are two very different languages, and we want them to be experts in working with METs. If you don't have ISAs, you may have them dipping in your pond and trying to convert some of those leads as well. But we all of a sudden, as we maturated the model, said they need to start lead generating too, and they need to bring some things to the table. All of a sudden, we're like, whoa, this person's paying for themselves. See, let's take an average commission. In Fargo right now, our average commission is $7,000. If we're on a 50-50 split with our agents, that means that the agent's going to get $3,500 and the company's going to get $3,500. How many extra deals does that agent have to do in order to justify paying for a showing partner? If they pay their entire salary, they have to do but 9 more deals in a year. 9. Maybe if you're doing your math, you're like, hey, that's only 5 in my world, or maybe it's 15, just depending on your average sales price. How many deals does it justify the entire salary? And for our world, it's 9. Well, when somebody adds a showing partner, we see that they end up selling about 25 more houses in a year. See, they get back time, they get back money. This person now, these showing partners oftentimes are bringing in 5, 10, or 15 deals annually. These are deals that go to the bottom line too. So now all of a sudden, the showing partner has made our agents $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year just in what they brought in. These showing partners are gold. Now, this showing partner, this is now I'm going to start bringing in some new information. Everything I've shared up until this point, the first 24 minutes of my conversation with you today is information I've shared before. If you have questions, please fire them at me if you're watching live. If you're watching the recording of this, please put it down in the comment section and I will jump to it. Here's a great question from Taylor. It says, is the team or the agent covering the salary of the showing partner? Let's talk about that before I start moving on to new opportunities. The pay of a showing partner is up to you on how you're going to pay them. We believe that there are 4 steps. You don't have to take all 4 steps, but I think that there's 4 steps that you can do in order to get somebody to the graduate level, in order to get somebody to fully be paid. And Gusty, I'll answer how they graduate as well. So let's first talk about compensation. If you're paying them a $30,000 base, and that's up to you on what your base is, but that's a good starting pay for us here in Fargo. The first model that we did was rent a partner. because it had never been done really in our area. Our team didn't believe in it. I had a bunch of new agents, but I knew what it could be. And so I decided as the company owner to take on the burden of the full $30,000 a year salary. And agents could rent the partner for $25 an hour. They're paying the company, not that person, because the company's already paying them. And so for that inspection or when they're double booked or they're out of town, they have this person covered, and then they end up getting billed each month by us. Well, we started to see that they really like the model. Some of you don't need to start here. Some of you can start later on. But if you think it's going to be a massive uphill battle with your team, then I wouldn't say start anywhere else except for here at the base, and that is the rent a partner option. Model number 2 is the share a partner option. So if Andrew and Camelia decide that they really want Charles to be their partner, I'm going to charge Andrew $7,500 a year. That's just over $600 a month. I'm going to have you charge 25% of that person's salary for Andrew, 25% for Camelia, and then the company's going to pay the other 50% because you're going to start trying to use it. This is the share a partner model. Step number 2 is share a partner. It immediately creates tension because the mindset of Andrew and Camelia is, I'm paying for this person's salary now, or at least part of it. And because I'm paying for part of this salary, I have this massive financial investment. And so they're going to try to use them as much as humanly possible, right? That immediately builds a conflict of time and the schedule. It's a big deal. And we know that's going to be there. And so I cast this entire vision, and this is a 2-year plus maturation of the model. Some of you don't even need to start with this step 1 or step 2. You can start on step 3 or 4. Step 3 is now Camelia and Charles are a team. This is the mini team model, okay? Andrew is no longer using Charles. Andrew's going and getting his own showing partner because they both love the model, but Charles and Camelia had a good rhythm. And so we decided that they would be the right match. Well, Camelia is now paying for half the salary in this mini team model. She's paying for $15,000 and I'm paying for $15,000 for a short time frame because I cast the vision in the very beginning saying, Camelia, you're going to make more, you're going to sell more, you're going to get more time back when you use this partner. And if you can't see this whole model, I'll take the risk with you. So for 3 months or 6 months, I'm going to pay for half that salary alongside with you. A lot of people start at this point. They start by saying, I'm going to share as the company owner or the CEO, I'm going to share in this salary with you for 3 months or 6 months until it proves itself, and then it becomes your full financial responsibility. Now, Camelia better be a part of that hiring process and that vetting process so that she can, with confidence, have this person in their ecosystem. Big deal on this, which leads to the 4th and final step, and that is now the agent is fully responsible for not even just the salary, but the payroll taxes on that too. We have 5 showing partners in our world right now, and I don't pay a dime for them. My agents do. It's really awesome. Yeah, but it's awesome for them too. So that's how we can cover this salary for the showing partner. And you can maybe start on step 3 or 4 if your team has maturated the idea, or you share with them this webinar or this replay, and they can get in that mindset of, okay, I can do this. If you're a solo agent, I think you first need to hire an admin before you hire a showing partner. In fact, I think you should probably hire 2 admin before you hire a showing partner. But this partner is a great addition, but you need to leverage all that busy work off your plate first, making sure that you don't jump to it too fast. My friend Gusty asked the question, how do they graduate? And I'm going to share with you, this is now the transformative model that I really wanted to bring to your attention because it's Showing Partner 2.0. Okay, here we find ourselves. There's a quick question. I don't want to get too far deep into it. So Sam says, what's your best recommendation for transferring to this model when you already have a team of buyer agents? Step 1 with Rent a Partner. Yes, Sam. I think start with Rent a Partner or find an early adopter, somebody who's willing to take on that mini team model where they're maybe wearing half the salary. You need to find one person. And sometimes if you're in production, Sam, you need to be the one that goes there first. Leaders lead and leaders take risks. And so first it would be on you if you're in production. Second would be on like your top performers, or then you bring the Rent a Partner. Really just all depends on what's going to be best for your ecosystem. Now, Let me emphasize one point here, and this is a really important point. And this point came to me from a coaching client I have in Denver. His name's Jordan Terrell. Jordan does 60 or 70 sphere deals annually each. The guy crushes business. And with an average sales price of almost $600,000 in Denver, I'm a little bit jealous. Now, Jordan has brought on a gal named Rachel, and Rachel has been Jordan's partner now for the last 8 or 9 months or so. Rachel has covered Jordan's business when he's been gone. He's been out of town or been unavailable. She's even been the negotiator on some of these deals, playing that doctor role at times. In a market like Denver, they're seeing 20, 30, 40 offers on properties, and all of Jordan's team members were struggling to win deals. But the ones that were winning were people like Rachel, because Rachel, even though she was the new kid on the block, was getting unintentionally her MBA from a top agent. See, one of the most powerful things that you have in this industry is proximity. If you're like Jordan and you are the LeBron James of your industry, you are just fantastic. LeBron makes his team members better, and they can learn from him and grow from him. I'm not getting into the LeBron Michael debate, but I am saying that if Jordan Terrell is like LeBron James, people get better when they learn from him and have proximity to him. Rachel has been getting proximity with Jordan and was winning deals when nobody else on her team was, because she's getting her MBA in real estate. I've given a lot of voice to why this is great for the agent and why it's great for the team lead. But for the partner, they're getting a better education than anywhere else that they possibly can get ever in the history of evers, because they have proximity to a stud agent, because they're getting trained better, they're getting more time vested, they're getting to see all the intricacies of this business before they ever get thrown into the deep end. So, pretty awesome opportunity. Now let me, Melissa, I'm gonna get to your stuff here, so give me a little time, but I wanna jump to this. There are 3, and this is my brand new information. There are 3 types of showing partners. Please write this down, because this is, I think, where the gold is at. Sorry, it took me 30 minutes to get to the gold, but I have to lay out the framework so you can understand where we're at. There are 3 types of showing partners, and I think that all of them will believe that they are one of them, but very few will actually be that. The first type of showing partner is the lifer. This is somebody who doesn't want the stress of full-time commission. This is somebody who loves building relationships and showing homes and doesn't mind the lifestyle of some nights and weekends. This is somebody who is probably a little more sensitive and is fearful of heavy negotiations and the emotional turmoil that we go through when it comes to selling homes. This is somebody who is maybe designed like an admin, a high S, but has the high I, and they want to be interactive and move about and have maybe some freedom and flexibility with their schedule. This person's probably not going to be bringing in 10 sphere deals annually. They're going to be your steady Betty, and they're going to be with you for a long period of time. I love a lifer. I don't think many people will show up and say, I want to be a lifer as a showing partner or as a partner. I don't think many will say that, but I think some will transform into that. This lifer is a massively valuable hire. If you can find a lifer, you have the permission now to go deeper with your business, because you are getting somebody who is a stabilizer, somebody who's not challenging the status quo, and they're not pushing you and you're not pulling them. They're just riding alongside with you, helping to row. A lifer is a great hire. That's hire number 1 of what a partner can transform into. Most, if not all, will say that they want to be the second position, and this is the graduate. In our world, it takes a minimum of 2 years to graduate from the partner role. They start as a partner, then they can graduate to a partner plus, meaning they're representing their own sphere, but they're still fully salaried, and then they can earn a higher commission. By the way, let me say this, because I have not said this yet. We've talked about the $30,000 compensation. Also, for any deal they bring in from their sphere or from their own lead generation, when it comes to open houses and that sort, I recommend paying them a 15% cut on that deal that they bring in. The reason why it's not 25, a typical referral, is because they're getting paid a salary to lead generate. So instead, I'd say 15%. If they convert a company deal that you've purchased, I would give them a traditional ISA cut on that. So as you're looking at this, the graduates in our ecosystem, they have to do the job for a minimum of 2 years. They have to do at least 20 deals from their own procuring. These are just sphere and referral deals. That's a lot. Most people have 12 months and 10 deals. A lot of the folks that I coach have 12 months and 10 deals. So if you're looking at a graduate level for this, I'd say a minimum of 1 year as a partner. And then I would say a minimum of 10 deals. We tell people from the beginning that if they want to graduate, they have 3 ways to graduate. This is, again, iterations. Everything seems to be in 3s right now, but they have 3 ways to graduate. Number 1 is they earn it. Earning it is, of course, checking all the boxes. I did the 12 months. I did the 10 deals. I checked those boxes. I earned the right and I show competency as an agent. Number 2 is somebody leaves, right? You lose a high producing agent or you lose somebody and you need to take your bench player and move them up to a starting role. See, I bet I can ask you right now, how many of you have bench players in your ecosystem? If you lost 5 of your agents, would you be just totally screwed or would you be able to find a way? And most of you are going to be like, I'm totally screwed. I'm not totally screwed because I got a bunch of bench players ready to go, ready to be moved up into the starting lineup. And so number 1, number 2, now we've covered those. Let's talk about number 3. And that is, you have so much business, you can't help but keep somebody back. You need to move them into the opportunities. And so somebody can graduate in any of those 3 ways. Madison asked, what should an ISA cut look like? Our ISAs make 8% on each deal that they touch. And it's the agent that pays them. It's not the company, because the company's paying their salary. Great question, Madison. So remember, I said that you could have the lifer, or you could have the graduate. Now, again, most people are going to declare themselves that they want to graduate, but very often you'll find that somebody's a lifer. But I think the iteration on this is where I get really, really, really excited. This is the piece that if I could do it all over again and go to my business, this is the reason why I have not made the right business moves. Why I should have done the 3rd piece, and that is an empire builder. This empire builder is somebody who's graduating on my mini team, on my micro team. This is somebody who is staying with me and not graduating to become another agent in my ecosystem, but instead they're staying on my micro team. So number 3 is an empire builder on your micro team. I want to go back to 2013 and 2014. If you remember, I said I did 149 and 153 deals in each of those years. Just myself, not my team. I was working 90 to 110 hours a week. I had a builder I was representing, and so a third of my deals, 50 each year, came from the builder, but 100 sphere deals a year I was doing. It was awesome. So many referrals, so many pieces of business coming my way. I was a machine on that stuff. That was 2013 and 2014, where I did 100 sphere deals each year. In 2020, I did 36 sphere referrals. I lost 64% of the opportunities because I didn't do the empire builder move. I got out of production in 2014. My daughter was born in October, and I said, I'm done working 80 to 110 hours a week. I'm going to become this engaged dad that I never had, and I wanted to be there for my family, and that was 100% the right choice. But I handed the baton off to agents on my team. Half those agents aren't with me anymore. Some still are, but a lot of those agents aren't with me anymore. That's a leadership thing quite often. But I handed off the transaction, but I didn't recognize that I handed off the relationship. That's a big deal. See, what I did is I handed off the relationship, and it looked like this. As I told my clients, I told the Johnsons, hey, yeah, you're going to work with Emily on my team. She's awesome. She's great. She's wonderful. Emily's going to take really good care of you. And all was true. But I also told them I can't be your realtor anymore. And when I look at the hot sheet, I see, oh man, Emily is now with EXP and she's not with me. And she just listed the Johnson's house again because I taught the Johnsons that I'm not their realtor anymore. See, we hand off the transaction, but we handed off the relationship too. And this is where the empire builder starts to modify and change and adapt this entire model and structure. This is where everything is now different, because the goal with this empire builder is I want them to graduate on my mini team. I want them to go from being either a lifer or a graduate to becoming the nurse practitioner to my doctor, doing almost everything that the doctor does. I want this person to go from being the relationship builder to the relationship builder and the negotiator. See, I don't want to be tied to the transaction. That's the piece I wanted to hand off in the first place, is I wanted to hand off the transaction. But I failed to systemize the relationship. I failed to keep somebody close to me with proximity, giving them a huge financial opportunity. And I failed to continue to be in constant contact with those clients. Meaning I should systemize and look at, hey, every 2 weeks I need to be checking in. And I need to be sending a Marco Polo or a text message or a phone call or a Facebook notification, whatever it may be. I need to stay active in that. And instead, I just handed it off thinking that, hey, this agent is always going to be with me, which means that this relationship is always going to be with me. And it doesn't work out that way, does it, gang? Instead, we have to be doing this differently. We have to be doing this differently. Change the way you think about this business. I promise you, this empire builder is the key piece that all y'all should be salivating over, saying, how do I find this person? How do I compensate this person? How do I keep this person around? Let me start with the latter. How do you keep this person around? I think with proximity and opportunity. I think those are the things. Proximity and opportunity on a great foundation of leadership. I think you continue to pay them a $30,000 a year salary. You could certainly flirt with the model of not paying them $30,000, okay? Right now, I'd say you pay them still that $30,000 a year salary. For every one of your sphere deals, they're now getting 15%. And then when they're working their own sphere, they're getting like 40%. So the model is this is a $30,000 base, 15% on all your sphere deals, 40% on their sphere deals. I think that's in a normal market, that's $125,000 to $175,000 a year job. That's crazy good money. There's a book called The Pumpkin Plan by Mike Michalowicz, and he talks about the 7 steps it takes to grow these county fair blue ribbon winning pumpkins that everybody marvels at. And the 6th step is that you spend all your time with your big pumpkins. Don't spend your time with the new people. Don't spend your time with those. John Maxwell says this. He says, I love everybody in my organization, but you have to earn my time. See, we as leaders and team leaders are giving all our time to the new people and the folks that we're hoping are going to make it. We don't give any time to our big pumpkins, and we wonder why they leave, and we wonder why they're not successful. And it's because we're giving all our new time. We're giving all of our pearls to pigs. And so I would challenge you to build an empire with these people. This is traditionally somebody who's going to be a high I because they love sales, and they're going to be on the buy side for the most part. They're going to graduate to work listings and other things too, because remember, they're your partner. They're not just your showing partner. They're your partner. They're the extension of you. They're your nurse practitioner. They're your residents in training. They're all these great things. I think that they're going to have, they're going to lead with their I, but they're going to be an IS or an ID. I think that the DISC profile is a very small amount of it, but I think that everything is earned and nothing is given. So you build this up. And I have 2 coaching clients doing this right now, and the success they're already experiencing is monumental. If I could go back and do it again, I would certainly bring on an empire builder instead of giving all of my random agents these relationships. I can say with confidence, I'd still be doing 100 Sphere deals a year, which is so much money and so much opportunity if I would have kept that relationship close to my chest. If that person does graduate, and it does happen, but the people that tend to leave us are the people we don't have proximity to and that we're not investing in. And if I value my own personal business, which is the greatest way to wealth in real estate, it's not through building a team, it's through you selling a lot of houses. If you can now build this, all of a sudden you can have your cake and eat it too, because you keep proximity to people, both your clients and your team, but you take off all of that transactional BS that we have to deal with all the time. It is ripe with opportunity to find this empire builder and to have them get their MBA in real estate by working underneath you and beside you and with you. You're working together as a team, but you don't have to deal with any of the headaches anymore. And then you can go chase after other recruiting things and other building things. And if you start doing this, you will find more wealth than you ever have had before. If I could do it over again, that's what I would do. So that's the showing partner model as it's maturated. An empire builder partner is the key, gang. It is the thing that for some of you is going to unlock the next chapter in your massive, massive success story. It's the thing that you should be looking for. First, you need leverage on the admin side, but after that, look for a partner. And a lifer is a great hire. It is. A graduate is a great hire. Both those will grow massive success and wealth for you. But if you can find an empire builder, that's so good. All right. Let me go through some questions here. Ron says, lots of golden nuggets to digest. Will you get the recording? You sure will. We'll be sending it out as well as posting it onto our YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe to that. Aaron Catrone is on here. Aaron, what's up? Love Aaron Catrone. Just to clarify, Empire Builders will stay with you, the team lead, as a partner forever. Yeah, it's a micro team now. Your team still exists, Aaron. How you have your team still exists. Your agents, your buyer agents, your listing agents, your admin, that still exists. I'm talking about a micro team, that you are your own team within that ecosystem. Michelle says, how do you learn more about implementing this model as a showing agent, or excuse me, as a solo agent? Michelle, I want you to go to hatchcoaching.com/hatchtraining. hatchcoaching.com/hatchtraining. I have a training module called How to Build a Real Estate Team. It is a series of videos of each and every step that you should take. And I go into massive depth into the partner model, compensation and contracts and all that. It's in there. It's really good stuff, Michelle. So if you're a solo agent, that's where you want to go. Eric Hudson says, what's our YouTube channel? Check out Hatch Coaching on YouTube. I'm doing webinars every 2 weeks right now as the rhythm, as well as a lot of other videos. So we have some really good content there. Madison asked, do I have a template where we lay these positions out? It's so new, Madison, that what I just spelled out, I don't even have written out yet. But I can't get my mind off of what this is right now and what it could mean for people. Cheryl has an awesome question here. How many hours, nights, weekends, etc., can you expect from a lifer or a salaried position? It all depends on what they're willing to commit to and what you're asking for. When we hire showing partners, Cheryl, and we hire partners, we tell them that they are taking on the agent life. And if they want the agent life, it means that they're going to be working nights and weekends regularly. We give them and we encourage them and we demand them that they have to take off at least 2 days a week because they're going to be working weekends. So they maybe don't work Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Cheryl, that means Tuesdays and Thursdays, you're going to be doing showings and you're going to be that client relation person because they're making about 30 grand a year. If they're trying to graduate, they're going to grind, right? They're going to do more. But if they're the lifer, and they want to work 40 or 50 hours a week, so be it. I see people raising their lifer's salary from 30 grand to 40 or 50 grand because it's just that valuable. In larger ecosystems, I have a coaching client out in the Seattle area. His name is Mike Novak. He has 3 partners on his team now, and they're all balancing nights and weekends. And he's giving them all a 5% cut on the deals that he does and that they touch. And so these 21-year-olds who haven't ever gone to college are signing up to work with him and they're making $75,000 to $80,000 a year. They're going to be lifers because they don't need to take on a bigger risk, a bigger life. All right, Melissa says this. I found that the person I hired just didn't get it. A time suck instead of leverage. So I hired wrong, and how do I avoid that next time? And how do I not confuse the buyers? How do we stay involved? So many questions there. Melissa, you hire the right person, 80% of your problems go away. They're gone. They're not there if you hire the right person. So if you don't hire the right person, take a look at hatchcoaching.com/hatch training. We are launching very soon some training modules on how to hire, like a whole recruitment and hiring package. So we can help you with that. How do you not confuse the buyers? Well, I will tell you this, that in identifying what this looks like, I would say, Melissa, if you're the client, I'd say, Melissa, what do you know about the market right now? What are you hearing from your coworkers? What are you hearing from your friends? Oh, you're hearing that it's busy? Okay. Would it be of value to you if you had more than one of us working on helping you get into houses? And would you find value in having me handle the negotiations and having my partner handle a lot of the showing so that you can have 2 people working for you instead of 1? Like, it's all in how you name it in the very beginning. Because if you name it and frame it well, Melissa, you're going to find out that it's all in your head and it's not in their head. We make sure that all the communication is in a text thread. So it's Melissa, it's the agent. So it's Melissa as the client, it's the agent, and it's the partner, all in that same text thread all the time. So everybody stays intertwined with it. That handoff is easier than you think. Oh, lots of questions. I love it. Aaron says a flat 30K salary. In our world, I don't spiff anybody on closings unless they bring it in. Salary, they get $30,000 and then 15% on the deals they procure from their sphere or open houses. I don't pay any mileage. I don't pay anything additional. Some people do. Some people give them company cars. Some people pay mileage. We don't, because we think that working in our ecosystem has lots of other fringe benefits, and it certainly does. Cheryl says, do I try to stay involved with pay-per-click customers that we give our agents, or just SOI? How do you stay involved if the agent leaves? Cheryl, my agents aren't leaving because we're giving them opportunity. If they do drop out, we hand that off to somebody else. But how do we stay involved with those customers is, as an empire builder, you're still going to touch base from time to time if that's who you're working with. But otherwise, you're still the heavy negotiator. You're still the one guiding the process. You're just not there for the day-to-day. When somebody says, hey, this might be the property, that's when you jump in. Or when somebody is getting a little bit burned out, that's when you jump in. But otherwise, you as the agent, you don't need to be there for the heavy stuff. Ron says he's done a really good job of messing up his team over the years. Is the training program we mentioned good for a small, unorganized team? Oh, 100%. Yeah, Ron, that Hatch training stuff is going to be right up your alley, and you should take a look at it. It's a big deal. Okay, final call for questions. I'm going to tell you this. I hope this was valuable, first of all. I'm going to share with you 3 things in the follow-up email. Number 1, I want to invite you to our Hatch Huddle. It's free for the first 30 days. After that, it's just $99 a month. It's myself and my partner, Robbie T, where we are diving into massive training and development stuff every week. You pay one thing and it's good for your whole team. So just $99 a month, and you get the first 30 days for free, so you can test it out and see if you like it. We're doing massive lead conversion stuff right now. We're going to move to some team growth things after that. So it'll be really good. Number 2, the Hatch training stuff I just told you about, I think is a really big opportunity where we have massive video modules available for you so you can train on your own time, which is pretty awesome. Number 3, Michelle said our website's down. Just check out hatchcoaching.com, Michelle. It should be up and running. If it's not, it will be very soon. And number 3 is I'm going to provide for you a link so you can save some cash. Love saving cash. We want to give you a discount for our marketplace. We have things to help develop teams and realtors with a lot of ways in which they can practice. And so please use that discount link and save yourself some cash. Otherwise, I had fun. I hope you had fun. God bless y'all. Thanks for being with us, and have a beautiful day.